Do you remember being in Salt Lake last year? Of course you do. But these guys were making so much money like every couple days. And I thought it was awesome in the spirit of the virtual press conference that they were making mention of it. It's like, I'm just making so much money. Like every 2 to 3 days, I'm making like 50, 100 more thousands of dollars. You know, it's just like, just keep it coming. Keep it coming. Let's just keep going.
I believe it's going to be difficult if the world returns to normal whenever. If they want to go back to 17 races on 17 Saturdays, I think it's going to be difficult.
I think they're going to like this. I think they're going to like this schedule.
Yeah, but I'm scared they're going to add races. We're going to go to a 23 race series with midweek races.
Let's do 30.
That. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Let's go for 30.
I can see that. Zacho's already said, go ahead, add more. I love it.
Dude, these teams and riders can't do that, man.
No, you can't. You literally you can't do it. It's impossible.
No, it's possible. I mean,
it's possible.
Can.
Right.
It's going to, like, I think.
No, there's no backup. There's no third string to fill in for the guys.
Sure there are.
Who?
Arena Cross. There's guys everywhere.
There's
Phil. Stop
There's
it.
Phil.
People are not paying for this. What package?
Peacock.
Yeah. To watch certain dudes.
Okay. Round 17 at Salt Lake. There not many people missing, if any.
Yeah, because they had 10 weeks to heal up.
Yeah,
they
I don't think
seven.
JT, I don't think that
they
is
raced 7 in 20 days or whatever.
I don't think that's a perfect example, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
People that were hurt were able to still show up, for the last portion of it.
But I think doing over 20 rounds of Supercross is eventually coming. I think it's eventually coming.
I don't know. I mean, I do think the midweek stuff, they're going to find out the midweek stuff is good and it works and people like it, but I don't. You can't. This is a meat grinder of a series, man.
Less travel, more events, more efficiency.
They're gonna get hurt, man.
No, they're gonna get hurt.
I'm not saying you have to do 3, 3, 3, 3, and 3, but getting 2 rounds out of one trip, to me, when they have to spend that much money on the venue,
I can agree.
But then give them the next weekend off.
Okay.
Yeah,
no problem.
That's what I'm saying. Keep it a 17.
Yeah,
I don't care how you do it.
And that's fine. But I think long term you're gonna see them try to expand eventually.
Maybe, yeah.
Whether that happens or not, I think it does. But the multiple rounds in one city thing, I think, is here to stay.
And the general consensus, everybody liked it.
Exactly.
I don't think there was a negative aspect that you heard from anybody. I mean, I didn't like being away from home that long.
You mean
don't do 7 rounds in 3 weeks.
No, I know. No, I'm saying
crazy.
that. But I'm saying, like, I can't think of one person that was like, hey, this sucks, whatever part this is.
No. So I don't know from Feld's perspective if the riders and teams I think we know do like this. But I'm wondering, there's a factor that hasn't been weighed out yet. When they get to start trying to fill the buildings without restrictions again, look, they know they're going to get more fans on a Saturday than they're going to get on a weekday. That's just the way it works. We don't have – it's just in the NBA where, like, there's 9 million fans in one city, and you can have it on Thursday night at 7:30, and you only need 20,000 people to get off work and go to the arena. Supercross fans come from far and wide. If you do it on a weekday, I don't think you're going to get the same crowd.
Well, you won't, but
at night you will.
I feel like
you'll get decent number.
I feel like the aspect of how much you rent the building and how much money you save on track build and all that, they don't need 30,000.
But if that math doesn't add up, if it's actually
no, they're done. No,
they're done.
They're done.
And the problem is now the horse is out of the barn, where the teams and riders are going to be like, dude, but we already tried it and it was awesome. Can't you keep that?
No. You say no.
Yeah, you say no.
It's not financially viable.
They're a ticket-driven business.
They
they're
are.
not a TV business, you know. So
just because something's easier for teams and riders, if it's not financially viable, then you don't.
Well, that's why I throw that out there, because we keep saying it's good for everyone and everybody likes it, but there's a huge X factor that we can't measure yet because they can't try to fill the buildings. And when that day comes again, it might have to go.
From the people I talked to, Seattle, Pontiac, back in the day, I've talked to many people about this. They said half. Oh, I don't know. They just said half. Half a number of people showed up Sunday that did Saturday.
My opinion.
That's what people told
I'm guessing, right? At round numbers. No, I don't know the hard numbers, but you think about it. Okay, when we go back to normal, whenever that is, if you did a 3-round series in one city, and a normal Supercross, let's say on average is 40,000. I don't know what the average number for, but I'm gonna guess 40.
You'll never really know, but 40.
So let's say 40. A Tuesday is probably gonna be more like 20.
Yeah.
And then you get your 40 again on Saturday. So now you're at 100,000 people over the course of 3 rounds. And maybe you get a little bit less because of revenue exhaustion in one city, right?
Yeah, remember Atlanta too?
So maybe you go down to 30, 18, and 30, right? So you're 80-ish.
His girlfriend said keep track of how many times he has to
just
go
in the middle
for,
of the show. He
for
just
a
goes.
pee break.
So let's say
That's
it's
one.
80-ish
One pee
thousand
break.
people.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know from guys like Dave Prater and these guys being open that stadium rental and dirt load-in is arguably the highest cost.
Yeah.
Right. So you do that once versus I just trying to do the basic math. It has to be more beneficial to get 80,000 people for one rental and one dirt load-in than it would be 3 at 100,000. That has to be.
The only reason I think it isn't is because I feel like if that was a viable path, they would have considered it or tried it before. Unless pre-2020, the idea of a weekday race,
I think they would have got way too much pushback. If you said, hey, we're going to race Saturday, Tuesday, and a Saturday, they'd be like, yeah, right. They wouldn't even change 20 laps for 15 years or whatever.
So now
15 years. Way more.
Whatever, right? I mean, it was like no changes whatsoever. We're good here.
So the difference is now everyone was forced to try it and actually said, hey, what we would have probably said no to actually turned out great. Sign us up.
Riders want a few things. They want less travel and they want less training days in the middle of the season because those are the hardest things on the body. Racing is the easiest day of the week, realistically. So if you find a way for them to make more money with less travel, with less mid-season training, there's not a lot of downside to that.
No, riders and teams, it's already sold. It's already done.
If you could line it up, and it's never going to happen, but if you could line it up and say, okay, guys, you did all your preseason training. We're just going to knock all these races out in a row, and you don't have to train. You don't have to practice throughout the season. All that's gone, minus injuries. They'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's knock them out. That's just straight money. And we don't have to go practice. We don't have to go train because we got another race and another. That's a dream scenario for riders.
I think Shorty's going to call in a couple.